Hello, this is Simon from boneguitar.co.uk, and for this tutorial I'm covering Studying C Major by Tarrega. This composition is in 4/4 time and consists of a sequence of right hand arpeggios in a triplet configuration, or 3 notes per beat. So we're starting by placing the thumb on the 5th string, the index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 2nd string, and the 3rd finger on the 1st string. That's lining our fingers up. And the sequence is 5th string with the thumb, index finger plays the 3rd string, middle finger plays the 2nd string, 3rd finger plays the 1st string, and then we come back down, 2nd string with the middle finger, 3rd string with the index finger. So the first 2 beats are and now on the 3rd beat we're playing 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, which then repeats for the 4th beat. So our right hand sequences Now, apart from the bass note that your thumb plays, that right hand is consistent throughout the piece. So you need to first of all just practice that played on open strings just to get purely mechanical action of the right hand. So you need to spend a few minutes just playing that. Now, the melody of this piece is carried on the 1st string, and what I do, the way I play it, and I suspect this is how Tarrega would have played it, with a rest stroke on that melody note. So what I'm doing is with the 3rd finger I'm playing a rest stroke on that 1st string, so that would now be with our right hand arpeggio. Putting that melody note on that 1st string with rest stroke, rest stroke, rest stroke, which helps to emphasise that melody. So if we put the chord on, rest stroke, rest stroke, rest stroke, I mean, you can play it also in 3 strokes, that's up to the player. That's all 3 strokes. But as I say, I play it in rest strokes. And now onto the left hand. And now, basically, we are starting with a C chord. So you want your 3rd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret on C, and the 1st finger on C on the 2nd string. So that's placed in. The melody note is with the little finger. So we'll be playing the melody, we'll be playing the open string, little finger down onto the C, then back off. So that would now be with our right hand sequence. And that bar's played twice. Now at bar 3, we have to move into your 3rd position because we need the G bass note on the 6th string, 3rd fret. So we put the 1st finger on that note, the little finger goes onto the 1st string, 5th fret A, and we're playing again with the right hand that we learned earlier. The melody note changes to G at the 3rd fret using the 2nd finger, and then we have to move the 1st finger to the first string, first fret. So that would now be or you could also play it like this. We could slide that second finger. That's an alternative fingering. Now, when you're playing that G as well, because we've taken the first finger off, be careful that you don't just accidentally catch that string with your first finger. Otherwise you're going to get a wrong note sounding through it. Now what I do is, as I'm getting the change, I put the right hand thumb back on the 6th string to stop it vibrating. Now, we now have bar 4 is back to our chord of C major, which is a repeat of the first 2 bars. Bar 5, we're moving into your 3rd position, so you move your first finger up to the 3rd fret. Don't take it off, you're moving from the C to the 3rd fret to the D. That's the guide finger, those are important. Place the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and the melody note will be E open. The 3rd finger goes onto the G sharp, and then we take that finger off. So bar 5 now is bar 6 is a partial bar chord at the 5th fret, covering the first 3 strings. That gives us now the notes of C, E and A. So that will now be adding the little finger to the 8th fret to give us the melody note of C. So our melody will be first string A, 8th fret, C, back to that A again. So now our sequence would be we're now coming back down to the 1st position, and we're dropping down to a chord of D7. So that's the first finger on 2nd string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and the 3rd finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. And the melody on this one again is 1st string, F sharp, little finger plays the G, we go back to the F sharp again. And I'll play it with the right note this time. So that's your 4th string for the bass note. And now we're moving on to our G chord. And again, there's 2 ways we can finger this. We can slide that 3rd finger up to the G and put that 2nd finger over onto the bass note of G on the 6th string, which is quite a nice movement. Or we could actually play it as D7, get our 3rd finger over onto that bass note and play the high G with the little finger, which is a good fingering because in bar 9 we need to be able to get the 1st finger down to that 1st fret. So that would be G. So now bar 9, we've already got our 3rd finger ready on the G on the 6th string. So we put the 1st finger now on F natural at the 1st fret on the 1st string. The melody this time is F, little finger goes down onto your G, and then we go back to F. So that would now be, play that again. Now, bar 10, we're back to a C chord, but there is a little technique involved in this one, in that we've got the C chord, but we need to, in the melody, we're going E, F, coming back to E. So to do that, we pivot that first finger down, so we do a partial bar over those two strings. So it would now be, I'll play that again. Bar 11 is basically a chord of B7, but we need to keep our little finger free. So if we put the first finger on the B on the 5th string, second finger on the 3rd string on A, and the F sharp with the 3rd finger, and leaving that little finger free to add our melody note, that is now. So now we're at bar 12, which is quite an easy one, because apart from the F sharp that we need for the melody note, they're open strings. So we're starting with E open, F sharp, E open. So the melody and the arpeggio would be. Do that again. And now bar 13 is a full bar chord. So we need to get that first finger spread across 6 strings at the 1st fret, which is a tough fret. Now I have done a tutorial on how to play bar chords and bar chord technique, so I would check that out and you can find out the best techniques involved in order to actually get that sounding. Remember always to keep your finger as straight as you can, with your thumb opposite or at least in between the 1st and 2nd fingers. So we've got the bar down. Second finger goes onto your 3rd string onto A at the 2nd fret. We leave the little finger free to add the G melody note on the 1st string, so that is now. Bar 14, we want the 3rd finger on G on the 6th string 3rd fret, 1st finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, and again we'll be pivoting that finger over to get the F melody note. So that is now down. That's it, I'll play that again. And bar 15 and 16 we've already covered, but that's back to the 3rd position, G on the 6th string, little finger on that A on at the 5th fret on the 1st string, so that's G with the 2nd finger, 1st finger or 2nd finger, whichever finger you like to do. And finally, to finish it off, we finish back with our C chord. And that's studying C major, which is a good companion piece to the E minor study by Tarrega. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye now.